I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I've always said that Local Business Marketing Solutions, the company that I own, run, and operate, is more of a technology company that understands the art and science of marketing. So, on this episode, I want to introduce you to the man that's behind everything. Without this guy, LBMS is not the entity that it is. So I want to introduce you to the CTO, aka the Michael Jordan of technology, the CTO of Local Business Marketing Solutions. So without further ado, episode 38 starts right now.
Hello, and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to today's episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Now, before I introduce you to today's guest and get us on with today's content, I would like to do a couple of housekeeping items. And I want, number one, I want to let you know that if you are thinking about any technical things that we've talked about on the show, any past episodes that you're probably confused about and you want to try to implement it on your own business, this is the perfect time to give us a call at 888-416-7752 or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com, and one of our marketing specialists will help you out with whatever question you may have and tie it back to your specific industry. Also, if you want to be a guest on our show, if you got a message that you want our audience to listen to, you just want to follow that same process. 888-416-7752 or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. Okay, I got one last thing before I introduce you to our great guest. And that is this. If you want to start your own podcast, if you've been thinking about it, it's a great way of getting my message out there. I want you guys to give Buzzsprout a shout. Buzzsprout is absolutely the best way and easiest way to start and launch your own podcast. Why? Easy. They give you a really, really cool tool that you can distribute your information to all the major podcast directories. I'm talking about Apple Podcasts. I'm talking about Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, just to name a few, and Spotify, basically. So not only that it's easy to use, they are actually masters at it. Why? Because they've helped over 100,000 people over the years launch their own podcasts. So if you've been thinking about it, you're on the fence, I ask you to give them a shout. And there's a link to their website in the show notes. I want you to go to that link, click on it, and when you do, you're actually going to receive a $20 gift card from Amazon. That actually gives them an indication that we sent you. And then, that's a way for them to say thank you for checking us out and also let them know that we sent you. All right. So Buzzsprout, the absolute best way to start a podcast. All right, everyone. Now that we've got all that information out of the way, I just want to inform you guys of what today's content's all about. It's something that is going to be a little bit different from what I'm usually doing. It's going to be a little bit off the beaten path because I am going to introduce you to Local Business Marketing Solutions, CTOs, Chief Technology Officer. And we're just going to be having a conversation. I mean, I think a lot of us, we talk almost every day, and we talk good stuff about technology and where the technology is going with website development, marketing, et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to introduce you to Abid, who is the CTO, like I said, of Local Business Marketing Solutions. Welcome to the show, Abid.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Why don't you I mean, I know you very well, but why don't you introduce yourself to the audience so people know who you are, what you do, and what's your passions in life, and why are you the CTO of Local Business Marketing Solutions?
Well, that's an interesting question. And well, I would like to start from finding each other. You know, it was really, really something I believe that it's something that God has done because I like you as a person, and B, I like the work that I'm doing for you. So it's that's the best combo I can get. So talking about technology, that's my passion, and that's what I have been doing for more than 15 years. And I have done it for several industries, including travel, construction, e-commerce, mobile applications of different platforms. So it's been a really, really interesting journey till now. And the most important thing about being in technology right now is, as you know, that technology evolves every day. It's a regular evolving thing.
Yep.
So what makes it interesting for me is that you have to every day dig your well and have your water, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to earn every day to graduate, or to make yourself aware of what's happening in the world.
Right.
So it's a daily learning process. So that's what I like about it. And as I said, it's my passion, and that's what drives me to do things which I'm doing.
Right. Right. Challenges. You like challenges.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
Let me ask you a question, because I always, as you know, I always call you the Michael Jordan of technology. And
Oh, yeah, yeah. I like that a lot.
I truly believe that. I truly believe that.
Well,
Um, so I often on the show talk to people about the difference between designing a website and developing a website.
mm-hmm,
And I have never asked you this question, and this is the first time I'm asking you, and I'm going to ask you on the air, because what
mm-hmm.
do you feel is the difference between designing a website and developing a website?
All right. So basically, both designing and developing are the processes of creating a website. So if website creation is a project, these are two steps to it. And I will add one more step to it, which is strategizing the the website itself. So like you and me, we have seen this many a times, that people come to us with for a website redesign, and they say that my website is not actually doing what I want it to do, right?
Right.
You and me both have had these questions from clients,
Many
and
times.
that's where I think the strategizing part is missing from the websites. And it has become normal now, because what people are doing right now is that if you go to some agency and say, hey, I want a website to be created, a lot of them, I would say maybe above 80%, what they do is they just give you a website.
Right.
There's no thought process to it. They haven't thought about it. What is the strategy? What is the planning? Is there any thought gone behind creating a home page or associated pages or service page or CTC, any call to action that is, being implemented in the website? So all that is not there.
Right.
So that's why I said I will add strategy to it. So and we do it between us, between you and me. We do it with the client as well.
Right.
That whenever somebody comes to us what we tell him is that, first of all, what we want to know from you is that what is your thought process of creating this website? What do you want out of this website? Right? That's our first question to them.
Yeah, should be,
and
yes.
and then they start telling us that this is what it is. And many a times we don't give them exactly what they are looking for, because we, as marketing consultants or technology consultants, know that this is something which will not fit. It might fit his requirement, but it's not good enough for his business. So we lot of time we also come with a totally different strategy, and we tell this to the client, and client also feels that this is the right thought process and we should go with it.
Right.
So once the thought process, the planning, the strategy is done, it's then we move on to the designing part of it. Because remember, first, everything is designed in your brain. It's after that, it goes onto the paper or your computer. And
correct.
when it's designed, it's then when you need to know how it will function. And it's the functionality part which is defined by development. So development is the actual thing that is making all the pages, all the designs do what they are intended to do.
Right. Reason I asked you that is because a lot of times you run into a lot of people who they come to us and they'll say, hey, I want, a web design, a redesign or whatever. And I noticed that they hired a web designer, not a web designer / developer, because, they have these super blown pictures that's totally not right. The CSS is off. A lot of things are off. And I think that's the huge difference between a development and a design. I mean, the design can be very pretty, but if it's not functional for the web, for instance, for say SEO or for anything like that, then then they're missing the beat.
Exactly. I agree to that.
Yeah.
And that's what I told you as well. But you know what? There is one thing. I would rather focus more on the strategy part rather than developing and designing. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of agencies who do designing. There are also developers as well.
Yeah.
But the one most prominent feature that I feel that we as in me and you do is strategizing the website. We talk to the client. We understand his or her thinking about the website,
right?
And then we plan it out. The very first part of our web, or I can say that the most time consuming job in our whole thing is strategizing.
Yep.
Because designing, all those two steps, designing and development, that come later on. And what surprises me most is that forget about planning. Like you said, people lack in development skills as well. So that's something which that's something which is not good enough for a client to have.
That's what differentiates us from them. Of the years that we've been working together, without mentioning the name of the company, because I'm not sure if we have the permission to talk about them on the air, but what was your most fun project and why? Just name the industry. And once you name the industry, I'll know who you're talking about.
Oh, you are talking about fun. Okay.
Your most memorable project since we've been working together. What's your most memorable project and why?
There have been many, and interestingly, I would say the most recent one.
You mean the one we were just talking about? Insurance?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Really?
And there is a reason why I'm saying that.
Okay, I love to
Because
hear this.
because because it has been a challenge, and I already told you in the beginning that I love challenges.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and there is a saying as well: nothing that challenges you, if it's not challenging you, it's not changing you. So
yes, I agree.
this thing actually, because I'm knowledge thirsty person,
Right.
and this thing actually gave me opportunity to find something new.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, if we do something for a client, and the client also knows that this thing is almost, it has come to a level where it has become almost impossible, and when you achieve that, it's that's called an achievement, and I love it. And that's the
Yeah,
reason why I say that is the most it's most recent
it's the most
and
recent,
the most challenging one.
and it's such an interesting thing because what we're talking about here is a trivial task that was turned difficult for various reasons. But
Right.
when you have a CTO that's nickname is Michael Jordan of technology, he's
Right.
he's gonna figure it out. So that's why I wanted to bring it. I didn't think you were gonna bring that project up. I thought you were gonna bring up your friend over
Somebody.
in Washington D.C. that owns a school. I thought you were gonna bring
Ah,
up, but that's cool.
that's another story altogether. They he's amazing. He's amazing. He also gives you tough time, but this was something which actually, because you know what, why I said this particularly is because when our client who came to us for this solution,
Yeah.
when I spoke to him, he actually sound like, he didn't knew what to do. He didn't have any clue. He was
Right.
clueless,
Mm-hmm.
and he was also scared that he is going to lose what is actually his property.
Yeah, and he thought he was gonna be stuck forever.
Yeah, he
W-
thought he's
Yeah.
going to be stuck where he doesn't want to get stuck anymore.
Right. Right.
And that fear, I could sense it. Seriously, I could sense it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, even though we were on phone, I could
You
literally
felt it. You
visualize.
you felt it coming through the conversation. You
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. Those vibes, they were very strong.
Man, I could remember. I think I agree with you because I could remember it was a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, that he called me or he texted me,
Yeah,
and when I
yeah.
told him that we've got a solution, it was
Hmm.
like a huge weight lifted off of his shoulder.
Yeah.
Um, you
Forget
know.
about shoulder. Talk about chest.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about shoulders. Shoulders can bear some weight,
yeah,
but chest cannot.
the chest
And
can't.
when your chest becomes heavy, you
Mhm.
need
You can't
you
breathe.
need yeah, you cannot breathe. You need instant help.
Wow, interesting. I was not expecting that answer, but I could see why, given your personality, your character, who you are as a person, and who you are as a professional. I can now see it. I can now see it. But I can tell you that there's a project that's coming up. And we're not going to mention it right now. That I know that's going to trump this project. You're going to be like, yeah, this is the project that's your favorite one, the one that we have in internal. We have a surprise for you guys. It's coming up next year. You guys are going to love it. We're working on an internal.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what
That's
you're talking
we're
about.
going to deliver something that's going to be amazing in the marketplace. You guys are gonna love it, but we'll table that for now. But I know that's going to supersede what we're talking about. Although that was challenging, this other one's.
Oh yeah. Now that you have mentioned it, I've already started thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You are absolutely right.
I'm sure. Yeah, me too. I've been thinking about that ever since we came up with the idea. We've been talking. I've been thinking about that. But
Yeah.
more information on that to come for sure. Okay, so let me ask you something, because I really value your opinion as a professional in the IT industry, because you're more than just a web developer. You're a technology professional.
Right.
Where do you feel we're heading from a technical standpoint? I've always told people that I consider myself, LBMS, local business marketing, I consider it to be a technology company that understands the art and science of marketing. That's how we are. So,
Yep.
and we're consultants, et cetera, et cetera. Now, but
Yep.
that being said, how do you feel? What is going on in the world of technology? Where are we going with all this AI stuff? In your opinion, do you feel that we're going to like lose the necessity for human beings at some point? Because there's some theories on there. But I'm just curious about your feelings about the technology,
Well,
where we're heading.
that's another, that's a larger topic to actually discuss.
Yeah, no.
Because when you talk about AI, there are attempts which are happening right now, and there have been successful attempts in creating humanoids. Uh, uh, and the thing is, what I believe is the technology is advancing, and it will advance day by day, and we will be seeing some more stuff coming out of AI, artificial intelligence, being integrated in actual world. But there is one thing which I realize is that nothing is going to replace human, right? So,
I'm hoping not.
well, when you say that, when you say that, I actually sense a doubt in you.
Well, I mean, there's so much here's why I'm going with this. So when I first started in this industry was back in 2006. I started doing online marketing. I started doing Google AdWords. And back then you had to put some thought behind doing it.
Right.
You really had to target the right people, else you wasn't going to get a result. Now, with the artificial intelligence in the same platform where I started back in 2006, now we're in 2020, it doesn't make you think. And it's actually, in my opinion, it's actually worse for the customer, because now I have to wait for Google to find the audience that I'm saying that I want. And then after I find the audience, then tweak it so that it actually gives them a result. Whereas before, once I knew what the audience was, I can build the keywords, I can go after them, and then continue tweaking as I go along. With this thing, I have to put it together, wait for about a week, get an idea of who the audience is, and then make my tweaks afterwards. So it's kind of like you're wasting money in the beginning, whereas before you were not. And but that's what AI is doing, and it's now, who knows what later on, like maybe next year they'll have something that they'll figure it out a little sooner. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, I'm hoping that it doesn't.
Yeah, no, you are right in a way, and you quoted a wonderful example, because you're talking about Google marketing stuff, and artificial intelligence. When we talk about artificial intelligence, it's all about algorithms that a normal human brain cannot do. So when you talk about technology now, like you said earlier, you used to give keywords and find keywords, and then boom, it goes, and who is your target market. But since technology has developed, and it has been developing day by day, there are more algorithms that have come into place. Because
Right.
remember previously there were like few engines, and Google was one of them to start with, and Yahoo as well.
Right.
So, and nowadays you see a lot of directories. There were very few directories earlier, like Yellow Pages
Mm.
or something else. But nowadays you see a huge development in all the courses, whether it is search engine, whether it is directory, or whether it is listing, reviews, uh, testimonials, or even something like Angie's List.
Yeah.
It's you have many things coming around. So as a human, I think it's not bad. you know Technology getting developed like this is not bad, because it is, in the end, it is empowering humans to achieve what they couldn't have achieved alone. So I think it's a handshake between humans and uh,
Androids.
artificial intelligence. You might be thinking that I'm saying this because I'm a technology guy,
Yeah.
but but I strongly believe in this, that this will advance more. There'll be more dependency on artificial intelligence. But then, as humans, we need to decide how much dependency we need on artificial intelligence.
Yeah, because I gotta tell you, like going back to my AdWords example, like they try to give me the keywords based on the website I put in there. Before, I had to come up with my own, and oftentimes they're the wrong keywords. It's I don't like the suggestions that they're giving me because I know it's gonna give them junk traffic. 'Cause I've been in the
Mhm.
game. I've been in the game long enough to know that's junk traffic there.
Right.
So I don't, and then but then here's the thing, I know that in the beginning, but the thing is blocking you into a section that you have to test it out with, that something that I already know is wrong, and it's
Yeah, 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 yeah,
wasting
yeah,
my
yeah.
clients money and time, and I don't like it you know
No, I do understand what you're saying. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it gives certain it has its own parameters to find what you are
Yeah.
looking at. But when it comes out, it might not be exactly what you're looking for. So, but here's what, it also adds one layer of filtering for you. I know
Mm.
that it's giving you it's delaying the process
Yeah,
1 week, but
sometimes two,
you know
depending on the industry.
what.
Sometimes 2 weeks, depending on the industry. That's 2 weeks wasted where I could have gotten this guy a better result if I did it myself. If the platform still allowed me to do it myself the way I like to do it. Because there was a time, they just transitioned to this, by the way, in the last year and a half. Before, they were moving towards this, and you can choose let me do it, or do you want to
Yeah,
do it? Right
yeah, yeah.
now, a year and a half back, now there's no choice. You have to go through this engine that does all this
Now
stuff
that's
for you,
that's yeah, exactly.
and it's a
That's
pain in the
exactly what I
ass.
was pointing out. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was pointing out when I said that it's us humans who need to actually, because see, artificial intelligence cannot do anything without human interference.
right,
So you have to program it. You have to program it to do actions, and it is humans who decide the actions.
right,
So like what you're saying, that previously it asked you whether you want to do it or you want artificial intelligence to do it. There
right.
was a choice before. So I think you are right in saying that if you would have been given a chance to give those keywords by yourself and not the other way around, where the artificial intelligence decides it for you, where it might be wrong. So in that case, you're absolutely correct, because you're wasting time, you're wasting
Money.
client's money, which is actually goes against what we want for the client.
Right. And it's good for the platform, like, in this case, Google, but it's not good for the client, because they get money irrespective of if the client gets traffic or not. Because
Of course.
I know these keywords are not going to work. I've been doing this since 2007. I know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like saying, whenever you create a technology, that technology cannot be 100%. It cannot be 100%, and I mean, it cannot be 100%. Plus, it cannot cater to every industry similarly.
Correct.
So what these guys are doing, these guys are actually treating every industry the same. It's like one shoe fits all,
right?
Which is not the case.
And
the shoe sizes might be different.
And there's so many other variations, like regions, like just here in the United States. If you have let's just pick an industry, an HVAC company, and you have certain keywords in that HVAC company that works well here in New Jersey, it may not work well, that same keyword, in Michigan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that they're picking these random keywords just because, this is what industry standards are, it's a bothersome thing, and then only then is when they ask you, now you can tweak it, but they want to create their own little version of it first, and then they'll allow
what
it's so
what, Frank, this is your experience speaking. So and when you are speaking from experience,
mm-hmm.
It's not only you who's speaking. It's the person who was there 10 years back and now as well. So yeah. I would suggest, why don't you give this valuable feedback to Google as well? And there might be people similar to you who want these things to happen. And that Google or any other platform will cater to these requests. They won't just throw it away.
Yeah, I've mentioned I have my partnership still, and I've mentioned it to them on a couple of occasions. So yeah, let's see. I'm hoping that they bring that portion back to how it was before. I have the choice to actually.
Yeah. I mean, you have a strong point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have a strong point that it's not that every time you will get what you're looking for, because artificial intelligence is something that will it has own algorithm, and God knows in which algorithm it is working.
Yeah.
It might not be looking at the things as we as humans looking at. So there are chances, and it is happening as well, that it's giving you wrong keywords.
Yep, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I was just kind of curious of your take on how. And again, that's a whole new podcast in and of itself.
Yeah, it needs a lot more time than this.
We need a lot more time than this. But yeah, I was just kind of curious about your take on that whole thing. Let me see. So what do you think of, just to get off to a different topic about how we operate as in LBMS. What do you think that, like, the whole industry, like, for instance, in terms of just the whole digital marketing industry in general, how do you feel that it's going to play a big part now that COVID has happened? Do you feel it's going to increase? You think it's going to create more competition for us? Do you think what's your whole take on the whole post-COVID era? Because we're going to be in this we're not really locked down, but this crazy mask era for a while. At least here in the United States, we're going to be like that for a while until the vaccine comes out and it's proven.
Yeah. I was having this discussion with somebody who happens to be from same field, and he was also referring the same. He was also asking the same question as to, what do you feel about post-COVID thing and how long it will be there, what
Right.
effect it will be on our business. And there was some important and interesting facts that came out from that. And you and me also have, discussed these few days back.
Yeah.
One thing I've realized that, although this COVID has locked the whole world down and there are industries going down, but slowly and gradually they are coming back.
Yeah.
But what I think is, and I believe in this as well, that, every challenge has its opportunity as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
when you talk
I
about
agree.
COVID's had locked us down. It's not letting us do the business. But
Yeah.
one thing that's very important, which it has done, and the opportunity that it has brought to us, which few people have realized, and they are actually working on it, is that this is the time when they can actually strategize their business. This is the time when they can actually, normally what happens. I'll ask you this: you are an entrepreneur. You're working. You have your own business. How much time do you get in usual days when there's no COVID? How much time do you get to actually strategize your business and look in the future that I want to do this with my business in coming 5 years? How much time do you get?
I usually do that once a year in November. I get together with my mastermind team. Actually, one of them is Jennifer, and we strategize what we're gonna do. But we don't do 5 years. We do the next year.
Yeah, but how long is that period when you strategize things?
We do it for a week.
All right, so a week's time, you find a week's time in 1 year and strategize and plan things and then execute them, right?
Correct.
Now here's what you have to specially take out time, a week's time from your regular business days, to strategize that.
Yep.
But here, I think God has provided you ample time to strategize for your business because you're not doing this business right now. So what actually is happening is people who have understood this opportunity, they have started thinking of future, thinking of post-COVID things as to what they want to achieve after this situation goes.
Yeah.
And like for example, we do marketing consultancy, right?
Correct.
So what I have seen is that marketing consulting is more about, strategizing, thinking about what it is right now, researching and giving it, making the planned strategy step by step as to where we want to go, what do you want to achieve. And that it's a time consuming period. It's a time consuming process itself.
Right.
And normally what happens is that when you talk to an owner, and because this cannot happen without talking to the owner of the business. So when you do that, a lot of times what happens is that you cannot get hold of the person, or you have less time to discuss it. But now, since COVID has been there, people actually have time to think about their business. They want to strategize, and I might as well. I don't know what could be the answer for this. how do you feel people are reacting for your marketing consultancy during this COVID period?
A few of them have been panicking tremendously, but I've managed to calm a couple of them down because there were a couple of things that we had to do differently from a
Mm-hmm.
marketing standpoint, and
Mm-hmm.
that's come to fruition. And
Mm-hmm.
others took it in stride. Some actually took a vacation because of it. Oh
Right. That's
yeah,
one thing that
it,
comes to human mind instantly. Nothing is happening. Let's go for a holiday.
yeah.
Yeah, but my question was more from the perspective that how many business owners had come to you and said that, hey Frank, now that we have time, why don't we indulge in creating a foolproof strategy or plan to grow our business?
None of them.
Mm. See, that's what I think people are lacking right now,
Yeah.
because because I believe that this is the right time. Because you and me, I mean, let's talk about you and me. We 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 are also hit like anybody else,
Yeah. Yeah.
and what we are doing is, apart from finding new business, we are also thinking about what we're going to do. and
Right.
and this one project that you said that will be something that we will be delivering to people next year is something that came up within this period only, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And we are actually thinking forward, and that's what I want people to do. Because business owners, there might be business owners also listening to this podcast, and I want to request them that rather than taking it as something really really bad that has happened, although it is
Mhm.
bad, but I would request them to look at the positive side of it.
That's
It is
right.
very hard to look at a positive side of a pandemic, but there is a positive side that they have time
There's a
and they
positive
can
side to
plan their business.
there's a positive side to every single thing that happens in life. So
Yeah, and I believe in,
no matter how tragic, there's always something
yeah,
positive.
yeah, and that's one thing that I want them to realize, that this is the time when they can actually build their business. They have the second opportunity to build their business and look forward for a growth and plan it. What do they want to achieve in next year or 5 years? Who knows?
Right. Right. No, I hear you. I hear you. This is great stuff. Good advice. I have one final question to ask you that just popped in my head, that I think is going to benefit a lot of people who listen to this interview. Because I have a theory, and this is just my theory, and I've never discussed this with you. Maybe I have, but I forgot what your answer was. But anyway,
All right.
I feel that at some point in time that the mobile apps are going to replace the websites in general. So now that we're talking about technology and people thinking about their future post COVID and all this kind of stuff, so I figured this would be a good segue into saying, okay, so as part of that thinking, should they be thinking about a mobile app and how can it benefit them and all that kind of stuff? So what's your take on, first of all, what's your take on, do you think it's ever going to replace websites? And B, do you think people should be thinking about creating mobile apps now for ease of use, post COVID?
Hmm. Interesting question, and unfortunately, there is no clean answer to that.
Don't make it
But there is
PG.
really,
Don't
really.
don't don't make it triple X. I'm just joking.
What? All right. So the thing is, what I think is, it's not gonna replace the website, but there'll be huge chunk that will go to mobile apps, and it has already started, and it has gained popularity as well. And during the COVID season, you and me both know that people are confined in their places, their houses, and the one thing that is always with them is their mobile.
That's correct.
So you might not be close to your laptop. You might not be close to your PC, but you are always close to your mobile, and that's where it becomes more important for the business owners to look for an app, because an app is your space in somebody's personal space.
Yeah, but you can now have I mean, I've seen some pretty shifty, pretty nice looking web app, not web apps, what you call it, websites that function just like apps, and they're websites, but because of the technology, they shifted something in the technology. I think it's called AMP or whatever. You probably know more about that than
No,
me.
there is no. I know what you're talking about.
And it shifts.
I was going to state that
Okay.
after the mobile thing, and this is happening. Like I always say, technology is interesting, and it can surprise you. It can surprise you anytime. Next morning you wake up and you see something which has actually turned your thinking as to where we are going.
Right.
And there is something which has already come, and it is there. And I also spoke to you about this, which is called PWA.
Yeah, you were telling me about that last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So PWA is something which is gonna be a really, really good take for all the clients, and it has started. People are moving towards PWA,
Right.
and they are seeing the value. And we as technology people, we are also looking at it, keeping close look at it, and seeing things how it's growing.
Right.
And we are also looking at providing this solution to our clients as well,
Mhm.
where mobiles does a handshake with the website, and it does exactly what a mobile app does,
Right.
but you have both of them at one place. So that's interesting, and this is coming.
Yeah. Yeah. So so it's it's not coming. It's here. We just have to. It's got to be perfected, obviously. But it's
No.
here.
Yeah, it's already here.
Mhm.
It's been there for like 2-3 years before.
But it's not
Over,
perfected though.
yeah. It is up to perfection. It is there, and it is being used. So there, as you know, for every technology there are early adopters, then
Yes.
followers, right?
Yes. Yes.
So there are early adopters which are doing that, and we are also getting into that space. We are
Mhm.
also trying to get into that space and make our own space in that particular area.
Right.
And I'm hopeful that we will be also mastering that thing really soon. Who
Yeah.
knows, by the end of this year we might as well create and provide one of our clients with a solution like that. And that's why I said that website is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
Mm.
There will be pieces which will connect website and mobile apps.
Yes.
And who knows, there might be a third thing
Something
which
else.
can
Yeah.
actually evolve from these two parents.
Yeah. 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 Wow. Yeah, that's I mean, I think the future is very exciting. We have a very exciting future ahead
Oh
of
yeah,
us in the technology
future is
world,
always exciting, my friend.
in the website development world, in the marketing world, the digital space. I think COVID is going to create a lot more competition out there for other people. So
there's one more thing, I don't know whether it's not part of technology that I want to talk about.
Yep, go ahead.
But there is one more thing that I see that people are lacking.
They don't have Michael Jordan on their side like we do.
Thank you for that, my friend. Thank you for that. But
so
but
besides that, what are they missing?
Well, I feel people who work as an agency or who work for clients are lacking few common things, and that is they lack the trust. They lack the transparency, which should be there for the clients.
Yes.
Because remember, any piece of technology that we create, it doesn't belong to us. We are creating it for somebody who's paying for it.
That's
and
correct.
If we don't, if we are not transparent in our nature, and we don't provide the person or the client with all the details
right
that belongs to him, we are not being transparent, and it's something which goes against the business ethics. And I think with our new project that I was talking about, which you said is the challenging one, and we saw this example with this thing, and I believe that we, LBMS, as an organization, we have this strong point where people can trust us.
Yes.
Where people can look at us as a transparent organization, where they don't only pay for their work, but they also connect with us, partner with us in creating something new.
And you said the key word, they partner with us, because that's another difference. We have partners.
We are partners.
It's not really clients; they're partners.
Exactly.
And that's the key thing. That's key. And that's something that we. The funny thing,
I remember,
like you said, God brought us together because we both, from the beginning, felt that way. It wasn't something that it was not something that we invented. We always thought that way.
Yeah. I remember that there were, for the first time when we connected, we were talking about the project, and the very first thing that we discussed is how it's going to benefit the client.
Correct.
And I also uttered it every time. You also mentioned it every time, that our growth is actually associated directly with our clients' growth.
That's right. When they
and
grow,
we
grow.
Believe in this.
Yeah.
And as an organization, as forward-looking organization, we, as a trustworthy organization, we also say that we are going to partner with you. We are going to give you every tool that's going to help you in fighting the competition out there.
That's right.
And that's, I think, is our strength, because we look at our client as a partner, whereas the other agencies, they look at the client as a client,
right,
from whom they want to earn money.
Yeah. And that's not the way. That's not our jam, as they say. It's not our slogan. But anywho, I think this has been great. I think we've given the audience a lot to think about. If you guys have any questions for us, you guys have the idea. You guys know how to get a hold of us. That's 888-416-7752, or you can send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. That's where we get all the questions for the show. Just reference the show, which show that you have a question about, and we'll answer them as best as possible. I had a lot of fun with this episode. I've never done something like this where I just straight up off the cuff interview, but I figured I wanted to introduce you guys to the brain trust of LBMS, the technology brain trust, my right hand man, Abbott, and so I'm glad you guys understand that LBMS is not just about Frank Deming, the local business guy. LBMS has strong backings for all
it does.
to make it work, and
the most strong backing is that God loves you.
God loves us.
God loves us, and we love our clients.
Yeah, we love our
in a
clients.
way that we want to make them profitable.
That's right. Amen to that. That's how it works. So
yep.
Thanks a lot, Abid, for taking time off of your very, very busy schedule, and say hello to this audience here. So until the next episode, this has been Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses podcast. My name is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and you've just been blessed by the great Abbott himself, the CTO, Michael Jordan of technology. So until
thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on for the podcast. And I wanted to have this discussion with you. And the most interesting thing is that you never gave me any question as to what you will be asking.
Of course not. I mean, the best interviews come as a result of surprises.
It does. And I think that's where you talk heart to heart. Where you talk freely.
Yeah, freely. I mean, it's just
that's where your knowledge is also tested.
Exactly. It wasn't really a test. I just wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation, introduce you to the rest of the audience here, and if there's anything that you can help them with, which I'm sure you did in this interview, that they'll know what
I would love to. I would love to help people if they have any questions. They can put their questions there, and we will get back to them as soon as possible.
ASAP. All right, guys. Until next time, take care and bye for now. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.